Play some music by Frédéric Chopin.
Shuffling songs by Frédéric Chopin on Amazon Music.
So I've got that going as soon as I get in, and I can start up the engine and start down the road. Your comments will be full of, you can just do that with your phone. You don't need to do all that. And that's very true. But I think, if you have to do that every time you get in your car, then most of the time you're not going to use it.
Why did you decide to put an Echo Dot in your car?
The unlimited music that they offer, I wanted that badly enough to try and come up with a way where I could do that without the hassle of booting it every time I got in the car. So I just, that first weekend, I prayed when I went out the next day that my car would start. Okay, Brian, here's where these things start. The positive and negative terminals have a red and black wire connected to them. I put some little forked, crimped connectors on the back of this and tied that into the clamps that are around the battery post to get an always on signal. It goes around, it went around the bolt that holds the clamp tight to the post on the battery. I put it around that and crimped the wire on that. It runs through this stuff, and I was lucky on this stuff to find something that looks a whole lot like what's in the rest of the car. So it looks pretty much like it's supposed to be there. Anyway, it winds around here and there. And then back here where there's an inline fuse. You can see right the box right there. I have an inline fuse in order to protect the equipment as much as I can.
I mean, that would protect your vehicle because 3 amps isn't much. So it's going to protect the walls of your vehicle, the other cables because you kind of followed the path, right? And
it probably took us 30, 45 minutes to get it through that hole and into the car. And then I took it the rest of the way. And then the wires go through a little hole. You can almost see the left-hand edge of it. There's a grommeted hole in the firewall up in there that I found out about really from talking to the folks at Acura. And the little socket I just got an auto parts store. And then I put an Anchor dual plug into that socket and put the dot in one and the hotspot in the other one. Tangled mess of wires that is that compartment, but you can see just barely where those wires are coming from behind the panel and into the socket. And then the plug is an Anchor dual USB plug.
Okay, and so that's how you go one to the dot, one to the hotspot.
And this is the Wi-Fi hotspot. It just stays inside that console all the time. And dot fits really well into the cup holder.
And then the sound, you said it's out of the aux, out of the Echo Dot.
It's right in the same box that everything else is in the car is very. And while I have things out of the way, I'll also show you there's the 3.5 millimeter audio auxiliary jack. I didn't want to have to do anything really permanent, but the only thing I had to do was drill one hole in the side of the compartment.
That's an important piece of why too, right? Like, because you didn't want to modify your car really. Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
Well, I wouldn't want to buy a used car that had screw holes in the dashboard. So I do that, and I close the lid and have a very nice installation. I think a neat installation that doesn't look too much like an add-on. Obviously it is, but it doesn't look too much like an add-on.
So it's perpetually on, but it doesn't drain your battery. Like, you've only run into that one situation.
User error.
Yeah.
It wasn't the fault of the system. It was the fault of the person operating the system.
And so the hotspot you said that was from AT&T.
It's called a Velocity, I think, AT&T Velocity. It retails for $149. My phones were already with AT&T, so they offered me this little thing if I'd take a 1-year contract, and it cost me $10 more a month. Play some music by Frédéric Chopin.
Shuffling songs by Frédéric Chopin on Amazon Music.
So I've got that going as soon as I get in, and I can start up the engine and start down the road. Of course, the dot will also control things in the house. I have really enjoyed it. I don't think I would have used it had I not had a way to get in and just turn it on. If I had to boot up the whole system every time I got in here, I think that would have gotten old very quickly, and I wouldn't have used it. But with it like this, I can get in, start the engine, say play this music, and I'm off to the races.